Hi everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. In this class, we're going to make our own compositions of warm colors and organic shapes. We will talk about how warm colors make us feel and why organic shapes are so special. We will look to artist Henry Matisse for inspiration, and we're going to learn how to make our own colorful piece of abstract art inspired by the natural world. And I'll quickly introduce myself. My name is Lizzy. I am a graphic designer by trade, but I am a color enthusiast. Color is my passion. My friends call me the color girl. I use color in every way possible to express myself, whether that's through my own personal artwork or the clothes I wear. Color really allows me to feel myself and express myself freely and understand my feelings more clearly. What are warm colors? Red, orange, and yellow and their variations are warm colors. Red and yellow are both primary colors, and orange is a mixture of the two, making it a secondary color. Warm colors are analogous colors, meaning that they are all next to each other in the color wheel, creating harmony in many types of color schemes. Warm colors often evoke feelings of happiness, optimism, and energy. Now let's talk about red. Where do we see red in everyday life? We see it in fruits like strawberries and cherries, or on stop signs that alert us of important information. Red is the color of fire and blood, so it is associated with energy, danger, and strength. Red is a very emotionally intense color. It is often associated with passion, desire, love. It has very high visibility, which is why stop signs, stop lights, fire trucks are usually painted red. Red is used to indicate courage. It is the color found in, which is why it is the color found in many of our national flags. This color is also commonly associated with energy, so it often leaves us feeling very stimulated and alive. Light red represents joy, sensitivity, and love. Pink often signifies romance, love, and friendship. It is quite feminine in its qualities, and it's very soft in appearance. And as we might all know, pink is a form of red. Dark red is associated with willpower, leadership, courage, longing, or anger. Take some time to think about how red makes you feel. How does dark red make you feel? How does bright red make you feel? Different kinds of red make us feel and demonstrate different types of feelings. What is orange? Orange combines the energy of red with the happiness of yellow. We often see orange in signage, flowers, citrus foods, which is why it is associated with healthiness, and it is known to stimulate appetite, actually. It is associated with joy, sunshine, and tropical climates. Orange often represents enthusiasm, happiness, creativity, encouragement, and information. Orange actually increases oxygen supply to the brain and stimulates mental activity, which is why it is seen in so much informational signage, because it allows us to process information quickly. Orange has a very high visibility, so it is often used to catch attention, another reason for the signage. Or, orange cones that you see in the street with construction. Gold is a type of orange. It evokes the feeling of prestige, wisdom, and success. Now let's take some time to think about how yellow makes us feel, and where do you see it in the world around you? Now let's take some time to think about where we see orange in our everyday lives and how the color orange makes us feel. What is yellow? Yellow is the color of sunshine. It is associated with joy, happiness, energy, and friendship, similar to orange. We see it in honey, bees, sunflowers, street lines, lemons. Yellow produces a warming effect. It's cheerful. It's bright. Pure yellow is an attention getter, which is why taxicabs are yellow. Yellow is also a very lighthearted color. Some would say it's childish in color, but that kind of makes it more fun, right? Light yellow is associated with intellect, freshness, and joy. I want you to think about where you see yellow in your house. And when you think of yellow and you close your eyes and you picture yellow, how does it make you feel? So we have red, orange, and yellow. Those are the basic colors of warm colors. But how do we change the look and feel of these colors? To change it, we add different proportions of red with yellow, which makes orange, or red and white, which makes pink, or red and black, which makes black. So basically, to change the tint of the color, you mix red, orange, or yellow with white, which makes it lighter. And to change the shade of red, orange, or yellow, you mix it with black, which makes it a darker color. So what would happen if we added black to red? It would create more of a burgundy color, which is more serious in feeling. But something to note about black is it is a very empowering color. So when we want to mix it with our colors, we only want to use a tiny little bit. What would happen if we added white to orange? It would make a type of creamsicle color, a pastel color, making us feel light and refreshed. Now let's quickly talk about organic shapes. A shape in general is a closed space made when a line is connected to itself. An organic shape is a curvilinear shape with a natural look and flowing appearance. They are typically asymmetrical and irregular. They are similar to what we see in nature, such as plants, animals, rocks, mountain ranges. One of the coolest things about organic shapes is that you have full freedom when you're creating them. You are the inventor. The shape is uniquely your shape. So how does this all relate to Henri Matisse, and who is he? Let's give a little background about who Henri Matisse is. He is a French painter from the early 1900s. He invented fauvism, which translates to wild beast. He painted with bright masses of color, and they were freely applied. He used color to express emotion, often using colors that had nothing to do with the actual color of what he was painting. He used tons of bright colors and very simple shapes. In the given example we see here, Matisse has created lots of shapes that look very similar to one another, but each one is unique. Each one has its own fun appearance. You can see how he repeated these shapes similarly across his canvas, and he filled the entire work with these shapes. The shapes and colors that Matisse uses look as if they are jumping and dancing and having a lot of fun. They seem to reflect his approach to life, and to quote Henri Matisse, he said, "He, she, or they, who loves, flies, runs, rejoices, is free of, and nothing holds them back." What do you feel when you look at Henri Matisse's art? Do his pictures make you feel happy? Do they make you feel free and alive? Do they make you feel expressive? Okay, so now our next step, after all of our learning about the background, warm colors, organic shapes, Henri Matisse, we're going to make our very own piece of art. Okay, so the materials you're going to need are a pencil. Yours will probably look different than this. 2 styles of paintbrushes. Your red, your yellow, your white, and your black. As you can see, you're only getting red and yellow because you make your very own colors with, or you make your very own orange, right? With red and yellow. Your white's going to be used to lighten your colors, and your black is going to be used to darken. And of course, you have your water for cleaning your brushes and a paper towel to also clean your brushes. Okay, so my first step is to look at my blank canvas here. How do I want to orient my painting? Do I want it to be landscape, or do I want it to be portrait? And you know, you could always change this later based on your final artwork. I like to paint this way originally just because I think it fits on my surface a little bit better. As you can see here, I've also put all of my materials on a grocery bag because it protects the table. And then it allows me to paint on the edges without worrying about ruining the table. Okay, so after I have thought about some organic shapes, let me think. What is going to be my inspiration? What have I been feeling? Flowers are great. Landscapes. What soothes me? I want my painting to feel kind of quirky but soothing at the same time. I'm thinking about the ocean. I'm thinking about what's in the ocean. I'm gonna go with coral as my organic shape. It's in the ocean. It's kind of abstract. It's interesting looking. It might be an interesting topic for me. So I would encourage you to think about a landscape, somewhere that evokes the feeling that you want to convey. And then within that landscape, pick an object, an organic object that you can use as inspiration. It could be a tree, it could be an animal, it could be leaves, it could be flowers, however you feel. In my personal case, I'm choosing coral because it's kind of a squiggly shape. Okay, so you want to have anywhere from 3 to 5 shapes on your canvas. I'm going to go with 3 this time. Thinking about how I'm going to fill up the corners, I'm going to start with this corner. Just let your pencil guide you. Don't worry about being perfect. Really embrace your curved shapes. Use different sizes. Remember, your shapes are going to be uniquely different from one another. Don't worry about making them similar to your other shape. You can turn your drawing too, as well. So it's easier to draw and fill up the space. Thinking about different kinds of coral. So think about different kinds of organic shapes. Okay, now that you've come up with your shapes, take your time, no rush. You can add as many. I could add a little one there if I wanted. Maybe I will. See if there's any other spaces. Okay, I think I'm ready to start painting. Think about what I want my first background color to be. I want an orange. So how do we make orange? Obviously, we make it with red and yellow, but I want a light orange, I think, this time. So I'm going to start with red. Pull your paint off to the side because you're going to mix your own very own personal color. I'm going to add a little bit of yellow. I'm going to start mixing. And because this is your background, You're going to want to make sure that you mix a lot of the same color because you want it to fill the entire space. Keep mixing your first color till you get a shade that you think you're satisfied with, that conveys the feeling you want your piece to convey. You know, you might get some surprises when you start mixing colors together. Colors that you, like ways that you didn't expect your color to look. And you might like that. And add a little bit of white. Okay, this is like a peachy color. Might want it a little bit lighter. Very peachy. Okay. Peachy color it is. Let's see what happens. Now, I like to pick a spot, pick a corner. I'm picking a corner. I'm going to paint along the edge of my shape. Doesn't have to be perfect because you can always paint it over with when you start painting your shapes. Feels relaxing to just follow the shape. It's like a roller coaster. I like to start painting the large sections with my bigger paintbrush, and I can always go in the smaller sections with my smaller paintbrush. And if you accidentally cover some of the lines and you don't follow the shape exactly, then you've just altered your shape slightly, and that's the beautiful thing about organic shapes. You are the inventor, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And what is perfect anyway? I don't believe anything. Nothing is perfect. Perfection is boring. I find it really relaxing to just slowly start painting with the brush. Getting lost in the color. Acrylic paint dries really quickly, so you don't have to wait too long for things to dry. So that's why you want to make sure that your paint is nice and even while you're painting. Because otherwise it might get kind of goopy. The longer the brush strokes, the more even your paint will be. Don't worry about getting each section done at the same time, because you're going to want to fill the bigger sections with your bigger brush, and then we'll go into the smaller sections and the ones that would be difficult to paint with the big brush after. But this is why you want to make sure that you mix enough paint so that you're able to paint your background color all the same color. And you know, if you run out of paint, that's okay. Just make some more. It might not be exactly the first color you painted, but you know what? That's okay. It makes your painting more interesting, in my opinion. Oops, you see how I just right there cut the corner, but it's okay because I'm just gonna make a new shape, or I'm gonna paint over it. Your lines might show through, so some places might, depending on your color, might need 2 coats. It's like I'm lost in the sea of a salmon color. When you're done with your big brush and you want to get into the smaller areas, make sure you plop your brush in your water, and then you can get your smaller brush and start working your way in the small sections. Because of the nature of acrylic paint, it might pile up on each other very quickly because it dries so fast. That's okay. I personally like some texture to my painting. I think it makes it, well, it definitely makes it more dimensional, but it puts more view in your painting. You can see your brush strokes, which is a cool thing, I think. While I'm painting these smaller sections, I'm thinking about what other colors do I think would look nice with this color. Thinking about all the different warm color options and all the things we talked about, what they make us feel, what they mean. Do I want something dark and more serious? Do I want something more pastel and like soft? Something rich and more zesty, energizing. This little guy here. I am personally, like I've said earlier, not a perfectionist, so if I don't follow the lines exactly, I do not beat myself up over it. Just a different journey with different intentions, and who knows, maybe I will like it more. Now that I've painted my background, I am thinking about what's the next color I want to do. I think I'm going to make my base color yellow. And one of the fun things I like is, you see here how there's some red in this yellow and it's kind of already mixed. I kind of just like to take it and see what color comes up when I mix them. Because it will be this like unexpected color that wasn't planned, but could still be really nice. And you know what? I think I like it. I'm gonna do it. Let's make more of it. So I make sure I have enough. It's like this golden color. I want to make sure that my color is different than my background color so that it stands out. We like contrast. Okay, let's try this. It's like a marigold color. Again, I personally like to start with my bigger brush just to get more of the big spaces and then go in and do the edges with my smaller brush. That's my personal technique. And depending on your colors, some colors might need 2 coats. And that's good to plan for that when you're mixing your colors. Don't forget to make sure that your brush is always in the water because, like I said, dries really quickly and we don't want that. You don't want your brush to get stuck. This is very mustardy. I like mustard. Makes sandwiches better. And that makes me happy. And you know what? That's what I want this painting to make me feel, happy. Make sure you get all the white spots so it doesn't distract from your color fields. This painting's kind of feeling a little popsicle-y. Getting me ready for summertime. I mean, I know we're in California where it's pretty warm right now, but I'm ready to be in the sunshine. It's okay if your painting gets stuck a little bit. That might happen when you paint the edges. So while you're painting, I want you to keep thinking about the other colors you want to use. And I want them to be different. I want you to explore different ways to make these colors. Variety is what makes life interesting. Another cool thing you could do is take an existing color you've already made and add a little bit of another color and see what happens. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of black, and remember, ooh, that's a lot. Black is very powerful. So it will change your color in a very dramatic way depending on how much you use. So now this has become like a darker gold. I'm trying to think what it reminds me of. It's very muddy. A little bit of more black. It's very golden, very royal. I'm going to make my tiny little one this color. And don't be shy to pick up your painting and move it around so it's easier for you to paint. White, be gone. If you feel like any of your shapes need 2 coats, go for it. Okay, I think I'm gonna do a light color next. Let's see. Make sure you clean your brushes thoroughly if you don't want to get a little bit of any of the other colors in. Like I said, one of my favorite things to do is mix an existing color. So I'm going to put a bunch of white on here. And since paint dries really fast, you might not even get any of the color. I'm going to go for a light pink for this one. Light pink. Unexpected. I did not see this coming. Very soft. Pretty feminine. Guess what? If you don't like one of your colors, you can always paint over your shape into a different color. But I would recommend waiting until it dries. Make sure you smooth out your brush strokes unless that's part of your technique and you want everything to show. This is very bubblegummy. I mean, it's not that bubblegummy, but it's very, very soft. Very little girlish, which I don't really like that term, but it has an innocence to it, I think is really what I mean. An innocence. It's definitely a fun color. Can use my smaller brush for these last little bits. I wonder what my last one is going to be. If you're still working on your shapes, you don't need to rush. Take your time. Do what feels right to you, what makes you happy. If you get a little bit of another color while you're painting, I think it makes your painting more interesting. I'm not really, flat colors are great and I love them. They're rich, they're strong, but a little hint of another little color stroke is just embrace the chance. Embrace the unexpected. Takes you places you never knew you could even go. What is my last color gonna be? Sometimes I let my colors choose itself. So, for example, I look at my colors and I think, what do I have a lot left of? I have a lot left of red. Let's see what kind of color I can make with red. I'm gonna mix it on top because I like to do it like that. Add a glob of yellow. I'm gonna be a little daring and add a touch of black. It's kind of cherry in color. It's softer though. Gonna go for it. Okay. Ooh. bold. I like to get all the paint I possibly can off of the brush before I put it in the water. Woo! That's how it feels. Like a roller coaster going along these edges. If your shape needs 2 coats, do it while you're painting it. Don't wait till because it will dry really quickly. So if you want to make sure that don't move on to another shape until you've finished your shape. Unless you want to change the color of your shape, then wait for it to fully dry before you change the color. Some sections of your shape might need a double coat, while some sections might not be. Just depends on how much paint you put on in one section. Remember, no white space. We want the space to be filled with color. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, this section needs a little bit of a double coat. This makes me want to eat fruit, to be honest with you. It's not cherry season yet, but it's coming. It is citrus season though, so if you have a bunch of orange in yours, does it make you want to eat any oranges? I don't mind if my lines aren't perfectly straight. I like the jaggedness a little bit. It makes my shapes, I think, more interesting, which sometimes is just a side effect based on my painting technique. It gets a little sloppy, but it's part of my style. but I don't want any pencil to show. I don't like when the pencil shows. Going to see if there's any goopy spots. Okay. Looking at my painting. Seeing how it makes me feel. Moving it around. What do you think? It's fun to try different sizes and shapes and positions. I like it. I'm pleased. I think I like it I don't know which way I like it. You can always sit it down and then come back to it and decide how you like it, or if you want to add to it. Don't forget to sign your name in the corner after it dries. And I want you to put it in a place where you can get absorbed in the color field. Like, if you want to look at it, what is it going to make you feel like? Is it going to make you feel calm, happy, excited? Look at this painting when you need a little bit of oomph of whatever you need. That wraps up our project. I hope you had fun exploring different types of warm colors and how they make you feel, and making your very own custom organic shapes. Now, I hope you go hang this somewhere in your house that you can look at and feel exactly how you wanted to feel when you were thinking about what colors you wanted to make. Stay safe and well. Have a wonderful rest of your day.